Good morning, my crafty friends. This is Lori Girl on the Ridge, back with the cover for our series. It's been a while. Life definitely got in the way. And I have to be honest with you, I had a hard time with this. So I'm going to show you different, how I, kind of do this. I start with just regular glycerin from the drugstore. Nothing special. I like it because it makes, you don't have to use it. There's 100 different ways you can do this. Some people just paint it. Some people ink them. This gives it a very soft texture and a little sturdier. So I do that. I spray it down. There's a little glycerin in here. And then I will just, the best way I found it is just inking it over the water. Sometimes I will ink it off to the side. But you got to be careful because if I get it too wet. And that was why it took me so long, because it had to dry for so long. And then you kind of see now that's kind of like a muddy. I'm not happy with that. This is ground espresso. And then you just kind of, you gotta, it's a process. And it's probably that's probably why I stopped doing it. Because it takes a while. And you gotta be careful it doesn't rip. So you get, you just, if you like these wrinkles, some of them, don't have the wrinkles. It's just a piece of, your envelope. This one's a little lighter. You can do, I don't know how helpful that was, guys, but I was like literally having a very hard time with it. And if you use this, this is not cheap, and I used a lot of it, and I just, let's see, like this is the one that I liked because it had like the blue, and it was, I just kind of used a whole bunch of colored inks. Now, if we really wet it, and put a drop of this on, let's see, make sure I'm in. And then that's nice. The one I remember, one time I did use one. Make sure you wet it good. Don't put this on it dry because it'll stain it, and not in really a good way. So you just kind of want to play with it a little. Now it's getting all in the cracks. But then I have to let this dry for 24 hours. And we know I do not have the patience to let things dry. You can use a heat gun, but I just let it dry naturally. So we'll just do some marks, and lightly, I'm just barely touching this because the paper tends to pill up a little. And then some people, after it dries, they'll hit it with a, see, now that part I like, but it's a little too, there. And then I will take Mod Podge and put probably a good 3-4 layers on it. Again, it's going to take another 3 days before this will be ready to even decorate. I think, yeah, I really can't put any other color, like an ink over this, because it's just going to muddy it up. So you need to do it in layers. So that's pretty much it. It takes time. You have to have patience, and you have to have drying time. And yeah, this is, you know, what I use for that. So, but I have other things to show you. So that'll be my cover eventually. There's a little hint of blue in there, and then we'll decorate it. And it does have a nice feel. And I will use, I don't think I'm going to use a high gloss. We'll see. A high gloss matte. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. But that'll be the cover for this book. So, what else? Let's just do that one more time on this light one. Again, make sure you get your paper wet first. So you could just use a whole bottle of ink. And then spread it around again. Very lightly. See, I let that sit too long. A little temperamental. There. See? Not a fan. And just let it spread out, and we're just going to leave it. I'd like that color with the more goldy color underneath it. So we're just going to let this dry as is, and then we'll have to continue it. But you will like the feel of the glycerin. And you just put, I just put maybe a couple tablespoons in the size of this. I'm sorry, teaspoons. So we'll let that dry. Okay. Onward. So that's how I do the top. So what else I've been doing is we're doing back to a lot of just, let me clean this off, stuff that I have, ephemera. Ooh. And I'm making these awesome little trifles with just, this is French ledger paper. This is reproduction. I printed it out. This is rubies and pearl. And I'm going to, I'll ink it up and stuff, but I was making a bunch of these. Some of this is original on ledger paper underneath here, but it was in the best shape, so I just covered it. And I'll be working on these. And just another one. And then this is, this I would have to say is Angie. She just, or I think she still does, Happy Mails to different creators. And I've been watching old videos 8-10 years ago, and it just got me going back to where I started from. The simple just little ephemera and music paper and shorthand paper anything I can get my hands on. It was almost just digitals were just coming out. And this music paper. I do like the ring binders. I'll cover these up. Yeah, let's see. This is old Harper's Magazine. And I just put some shorthand paper on. Just little pieces of lace. And booklets. And sewing paper. Or the pattern paper. Used to use that a lot. Just kind of reminds me of, this isn't finished yet, but just the rusty, let me just make sure I'm in frame, rusty paper, or safety pins, and just a sheet, and then some, just a piece of paper that I just aged. These are really fun to make. I like doing these. And this is just another little, just a little booklet, a little couple snippets, some stamped on a piece of muslin, crunchy paper, and I apparently didn't even sew it together yet. But I mean, you could do so much with nothing, literally. And more shorthand paper that I got from Patty Lane. I have all the stuff and I gotta use it. I just cannot not use it. And just typewriter paper, and then I just made a tag. I want to say this is shampoo, I think. And this I haven't done yet. But then I made another little booklet. Just crunchy paper with snippets of Crafty Me lace. More envelope. Some of them. Oh God, we used to have these checks. That I got these from Patty Lane, Sacred Momentums. A little packet I made. Or no, actually, just a little fold up. Another little piece of ephemera we had gotten. Some of the really old script paper. Another little packet. And just old receipts, guys. It's just, you could just do so much with them. You put a, something, even if you have 1-2 pages of really nice writing, you could cover up pieces of receipts. That's going to be a packet. Music paper. And I did a little snippet there, a little stamping. Like I said, this book isn't done yet, but this is where I'm headed. Just a piece of line paper, coffee dye. And a little more ledger, music paper, and then one of my pink envelopes. And I used my die cut. This is like the Cricut, the page die cuts, I guess. I put that in there. And that's what I've been working away at. Just remembering where I started. It's kind of, I can't believe it's been that long. And where I am today isn't too far from, just more digitals. I'm just going to do add more ephemera with my digitals and stop hoarding it. So, next video we'll wrap this up. My cover will dry. I'll have it started decorating. I'll finish decorating, sew this book together, and then we are done. And then we'll move on to another series. I think we're gonna maybe do the ring binder for those that aren't familiar with this. Either ring, twine, kind of like maybe just a thick, not quite this thick, just using papers and stuff. Would you guys put it in the comments if you're interested in that? And I guess that's it, guys. So we will see you when my cover dries. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.